there, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a return viewer, and if you're new, I hope you'll stick around and see what we can do on this channel for you. Mainly, we review books, and today it's a bit of a doozy. It is Miracle Visitors by Ian Watson. Now, I've only read one previous book by Ian Watson, and that was something called The Fireworm about 30 years ago when I was a much younger man. And I remember it being very unsettling and disturbing. It mixed in stuff about alchemy, alchemists, and quite a large dash of child abuse was implied. And I was a little queasy about that book. So when I heard that about this book from an interview I was watching online with the Scottish science fiction writer Ken MacLeod, I was intrigued about what Ian Watson would have written in regards to the UFO phenomenon. Now, Miracle Visitors was first published in 1978. This edition is a 1980 Granada Panther paperback version. It is looking a little sad and worn, but it is readable all the same. Now, what is the book about? Well, it's a bit of a mix mash, but it starts out promising. We're introduced to Michael Peacock as a 16-year-old student taking a shortcut across the local moors to get home. He spots a strange object which comes down. He sees a porthole and a figure looking through a porthole at him, and then he just wakes up again and he's riding home wondering why time has gone by so fast. The story picks up again when Michael is a young student. He's in the offices of John Deacon, a researcher in consciousness and psychology at a university, and Michael is being hypnotized as part of an experiment. And under hypnosis, the story about his UFO abduction comes to light. Deacon is amused, thinks it's all a repressed sexual fantasy. As in the account that Michael gives, he is greeted at the hatch of the flying saucer by a beautiful woman, and there are two tall men, all the Nordic alien types, and the woman proceeds to have sex with him. And this is quite disturbing to Michael, as you may understand, and Deacon, of course, is fascinated. Now, Michael is disturbed by this memory. Deacon, meanwhile, discusses it with a consciousness research group at his university, a multidisciplinary team of people, and they all kind of pull the experience apart and rubbish it. Meanwhile, as time goes on, Michael has a couple more unusual experiences, including one with his girlfriend Susie, which causes them some physical discomfort when they see a bright light. This, of course, leads to Deacon being even more interested in them. And Deacon has kind of deconstructed Michael's testimony under hypnosis and finds it is the names and the things that he saw are very symbolic. It's not, doesn't seem like a literal experience at all. It's something like a message that's being given to Michael. So on the story goes, and we are introduced to Barry Shriver, an ex-US Air Force pilot who may or may not have seen UFO activity at a base once, and he's become a all-consuming UFO report nut, and he's gets interested in Michael's story. And on the story goes, it's like a slow-burning psychological drama for about 100 pages of this paperback. And I was thinking, oh, this is quite interesting, this is quite good, I wonder where this is going. There's a lot of discussion about consciousness, the nature of reality. Deacon thinks that UFO experiences may be an altered state of being, and it's all very interesting. And then around page 100 or so, the author seems to decide he wants to write a very different type of book. We're soon introduced to a Muslim sheikh and his young acolyte in Egypt, and there's a lot of talk of prophecy and figures from the Sufi tradition. The green man apparently appears and makes things better or leaves cryptic clues. And Salem and the sheikh have an experience with this green man, and the green man tells them that someone's going to come, drop out of the sky basically, and be confused about where he is, and when he does, give him this book. He passes over an old bound book. Things get a little even more weird. Michael's out on a trip and he encounters an alien in a red Ford Thunderbird, and the Ford Thunderbird can fly, takes him to bases on the moon, all sorts of weird stuff. It's just like the author really got sick of the original part of the story and he just wanted to throw in the kitchen sink from then on. And that's how it goes. It is ludicrous in some places. It's a big melange of Eastern mysticism, physics, theoretical physics as it was understood in the 1970s, and we end up with Deacon and Michael and his girlfriend, and basically discovering the secret of the whole UFO phenomena, and while they're at it, of course, the secret of the whole universe basically, and the mysteries are revealed to them all, and the people are just moved around the map like play pieces on a board game. From there on, it's not stops being realistic or atmospheric. It just gets ridiculous. And the theories about the UFO phenomena and are interesting. They are the type of thing that was starting to be discussed back in the 70s with people like Jacques Vallée and people like that. It wasn't a popular viewpoint at the time. People were still very much wedded to the extraterrestrial hypothesis, meaning that flying saucers were literal spaceships flown by literal alien beings, and anything that went against that was seen as a bit of a heresy by the true believers, and that situation still exists today. I'm not sure if this book would help or harm that type of thinking. There is some interesting thought in it, but it's just a mess, and it just goes off the rails. Whatever promising book was there at the start is gone by the end, and it ends suddenly with a little bit of a wink to the camera type thing. And was it all a dream? Was it all a hallucination? Was it part of the grand plan of the UFO entities, the phenomena? Really, who cares in the end? So that is the Miracle Visitors by Ian Watson. If you want to scratch your noggin a bit, it might be an interesting read. Otherwise, it's pretty much forgettable. Okay, so thank you, and we will see you next time.